Hey YouTube, I am very excited. It's a wrap here. I am coming to you all with my year-end books that I read for 2022. And this is also like an introduction into something new on this channel. I really love reading, and I guess this channel will be me holding myself accountable to read more. And it's just going to be a book channel, a booktube channel. Very excited about it. Let's see how this goes. And to kick it off, this is my wrap up of what I've read for this year. It's not that many books. It's not. This is literally just me trying to get the ball rolling. If this is not my first video, I've already recorded another video. I don't know which one's going up first, about the books that I'm recently purchased, that I'm going to start reading in the new year, that I'm anticipating reading in the new year, and then the books that I also did not finish and plan to try to wrap up this year, that I bought this year but did not finish. So let's get into it. I have my notes. I have a total of 7 books. So okay, let's get into it. So this one didn't come out this year, but I read it this year. It's His Only Wife by Adzo, I think is Medie. And this, I think, was a New York Times bestseller for 2020. So this came out in 2020, but I read it this year. I finally decided to pick it up and read it. And I'm so upset that I waited this long to read it. It was such a good, fast read. I really enjoyed it. It's based in Ghana. And just for a quick summary, it's based in Ghana. And there is the main character. Her name is Afi. She lives in a small village in Ghana. And a aunt is not really aunt, it's more like a friend of the family. She comes to her mother and proposes that she marries her son because she doesn't like her son's current wife. So the book literally starts with her at this wedding where he is not present, and pretty much she's in this marriage that like is arranged by the family, but like both of them aren't like really like in love and agreeing to, and it's kind of like their story or her story navigating that. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. I have my Goodreads up. I rated this book, I think I gave it a 5. So this book was a 5-star read for me for this year on Goodreads. And I'll probably go, maybe I'll link my Goodreads in the description. I have never reviewed any of my Goodreads, like a written review. I've just like left a rating. So maybe I'll start reviewing them so you can get a feel of my opinions on the book. So, and then, we can start the new year in-depth reviews. Yinka, sorry, the books are behind me. That's dumb. But Yinka, Where Is Your Husband? I loved this book. I really did. It was like, it was a nice book to get me out of my reading slump. But pretty much it's this main character. Her name is Yinka, and she works for like this really big like company. But like her mom and like her aunties are like, girl, you're in your 30s. When you gonna get married? Like, you have everything, the house, the car, the good job, but where is your husband, right? So pretty much it's Yinka like going through that. And then also, on top of that, like her familiar relationships with like her mother, her sister, her like cousins, just that, and her identity as a British Nigerian. So yeah, this was a really good read. I will add that also in the plot, like the thing that's driving the plot is that her cousin ends up getting married, and like it's more pressure for her like to find somebody because she doesn't want to show up to like the wedding alone. She like, because her sister's having a baby and she just got married, and she's like, she doesn't want to be like the only single one out. And it's it's just a lot happens. It's a good read. If you read it, I wish there was more Donovan. I know it wasn't about Donovan, but I like Donovan. So yeah, Yinka, Where's Your Husband? Gave it a 5 out of 5. I personally enjoyed it. Also, like as a Nigerian American, there was just a lot of things that I relate to. So there we go. 7 Days in June. This is another book that did not come out this year. I think it came out in 2020. Let me check. Or 2021. 2021. So this book came out last year, 7 Days in June. This is like a New York, I think this is a New York Times bestseller. I waited a little bit to get it because I wanted to get the paperback. I prefer the paperback is cheaper, and I don't know, I just prefer paperback over hardback. Yeah. So this one is about the main character Ava, and she's like this best selling erotica writer, and she's kind of like in a slump. Like there's this book that she really wants to write, but I guess she's kind of afraid to do it. And pretty much one of her like can we consider a high school sweetheart? One of these, like, when she was in high school, she has like this week bonding, get 7 Days in June. She has like the week bonding experience with this guy named Shae, who, like, I don't know, like they were swept up in each other in this week, and then like something big happens at the end and he kind of just disappears, and she just kind of goes on with life, but she always like keeps that, like, I guess that in the back of her mind. Yeah, but then Shae comes back in the picture and they reconnect, and it's just like them reconnecting and figuring out like this miscommunication that happened when they were younger, and you know, just being an adult now, and like, yeah, it's just a really, is it a romance? I wouldn't really like, it's romance, but it's not, it's like romance that I like. Like I like a nice literary fiction romance that's not too heavy on the romance, if you get what I'm saying. Like there's other stuff going on, but you do you do love Shae and Ava's like love story. It was a good read. I'm not a big romance fan. I'm just going to tell y'all that right up front. I'm not a romance fan, but I have also read Tia Williams before. I read the book that they're about to make a movie out of, The Perfect Fine. I've read The Perfect Fine, and I really enjoyed that one too. So yeah, this is a good read. I really like Tia Williams' writing style. She has another book that I haven't read. I think it's like The Accidental Diva. But I gave this one, I think, a 3 out of 5. And it's a solid read. Like, I highly recommend it. Again, I just don't really like romance like that. I think all the books I have here are more like literary, like women fiction. I don't know if that, like, back in the day used to be chick lit kind of books. I like that. Okay, moving on to the next one, which I guess I should keep in theme. This is a romance too. Honey and Spice by, a lot of these are Reese Book Club books, but by Babalola, Honey and Spice. This is another one that's been really popular on Book Talk. This is a book that came out this year. And this one, it was a fun read. Again, I don't love romance. So at some point I was just all like, okay, y'all, like, I'm not invested. I'm not like, I need more oomph to this plot. And some of the drama in it, I was like, this is giving high school more than college. I don't know. It was kind of clicky in a way that I was just like, I'm not feeling it. But this is about the main character named Kiki. She's in college. She has this radio show, and there's this new student. His name is Malachi, and he's kind of like the player and the talk of the town. You know, he like comes onto campus, and all the girls like love him, and Kiki like ends up kissing him to divert from like this other situation that she's in, and they like later agree to do like this like team up and fake date for like this project to like help get her this scholarship, and he's trying to look for this scholarship, and yeah, so it's one of those fake dating tropes, but they end up liking each other in the end. Again, It was a fun read. It was. I love books that have references to like diasporic Africanness, if you get what I'm saying. So again, it was a fun read. It was relatable. Was it my favorite? No, because I don't really love romance. So yeah. What did I give this? I think I gave it a 3. I think I gave it a 3. I gave this one a 3 out of 5. I know people love this book. That's why I'm like, it's very popular on Book Talk and BookTube. BookTube is the real, because I be watching all the like YouTubers on BookTube, and I know a lot of people like this book, and it wasn't my favorite. I know people say Love and Color is good, but I don't really like short stories like that. So maybe I'll still try it. You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty by Akwaeke Emezi. This is my first time reading a book by them. There's another book that I have that I haven't read yet, so maybe it's gonna come up in that other video. The Death of Vivek Ojeji? I can't remember. Anyways. There's another book by them that I have that I said I'm gonna read, so hopefully I'll get to that and it's good. But yeah, this book, baby, I get the hype. I get the hype. Whether you love or hate the main character at the end, that's up to you. But is it some riveting writing? Are you in your feels? Did it make me want to read something else by them that I would actually enjoy? like I'm not saying I didn't enjoy this. I really did. I believe I gave this book 5 stars, or maybe 4. I gave it 4 stars. I gave it 4 stars just because me and the main character and the messiness, I was just, by the end I was just all like, now girl. But baby, it was riveting. Okay? It was I was sitting there like, oh no, she didn't. I even highlighted some things in the book. It was a good read. If you need something to get you out of a reading slump, baby, this could be it. Am I going to read more by them? Definitely. The writing is, even if you don't agree with what happens at the end, in the middle, in the beginning, she said it was a romance. It's not really giving me romance. But is it still a good read? Hell yes. Monday is not coming. I actually just finished this not that long ago, maybe like a week ago. I went on a trip and I decided to bring this book with me. And I've had this book for actually a while. I bought this book a while ago, and there's another book. There's a couple of books I've been sitting here. I bought this book a while ago. Was kind of sitting. I don't know. Something just wasn't pushing me to read it. So I decided to take it with me on a trip. And baby, when I tell you it had me in a chokehold. And for context, I'm from the DMV. So granted, this is, people from the DMV, people from DC, you just like, we from DC, don't push into this whole DMV conversation. But the book is based, the main character, or the book is based in DC. So it's all the like places that they go, the streets, the schools, like very much like recognized it, related to it. Like it was her journey, like just navigating like where she was from, very much relatable, very much related, like very much like was smiling because I was thinking to that age and like the places I went. Anyway, but very, very not appropriate for a vacation read. I was very much crying. It was very much sad, and still another like great storytelling. Great storytelling. The book is written in like so sorry, for context. So the main character, Claudia, her friend, she comes back from like summer with her grandmother, and she comes back and she hasn't heard from her friend all summer, and pretty much like her friend goes missing. Her 8th grade year, right before she goes into college. I mean, sorry, not college, into high school. So pretty much the book follows her as she's trying to figure out where is her friend. But as is going through that, is going into like her realizing that her friend is missing after she finds out what happens to her friend, and the school year before her friend goes missing. So there's like 3 different times going on in the book, and then at the end it all comes together, and it's so good. It was so good. And how many pages was this? 400? Baby, when I tell you, you will breathe through these pages. You can tell. I went on a trip and I ended up passing the book. I read the book, then I passed the book to my friend, and then my other friend read it. So all 3 of us read it on this vacation. And good. I think it's a good book club read. Did I go? Because literally the author just came out with another book this year. So when did this book come out? I think 2018. So I just went and bought her that book, and I think I bought another book. So I bought 2 more books by her. So I'm gonna read them, and you guys are gonna see them in the video about my to be reads for 2023. So there we go. But 5, I think it was a great way to bring out the year. I love how my lipstick in the camera, it matches the book cover, but this is more of like a brownie red. Okay, but anyway, yes, the last book I have was a Kindle read. Occasionally when I'm again in a slump, wow, my hair color looks really good, is from Shae Sanders. It's called The Prodigy, and it's one of those Kindle reads. Shae Sanders has one book that's really popular on Book Talk called The Replacements. It's like a grumpy romance. Again, y'all, wow, this is a romance. This is considered a romance. But it's also like a hood novel. And sometimes when I need to escape and I just need something, granted, hood novels aren't that light, but they light. Like there's some type of escapism to them that I enjoy. So, sometimes I'll go read like a Kindle hood novel and it'll just swoop me back into reading mode. So hopefully that'll be the case for next year, because my goal is to read at least 3 books each month. So was it 3 times 12? Maybe I can't do math. It's 36. So at least 36 books. I think that's fair. 36 books. I know people be trying to read 100 and stuff like that. We're not there yet. I'm trying to work my way back up to the way I used to read. Anyway, The Prodigy is, how can I describe it? So, so there's 2 main characters. Jakari is like part of the Windermere family. And when we meet Jakari, he's in Atlanta and he's like escaping from something, like he's not in contact with his family. He's like in Atlanta, his family's in another town an hour away. But his family calls them and they're all like, "Oh, your dad has died. You need to come back." So he's going back to go visit his family for the funeral, and he stops at a bar and he runs into the girl that works there, Malika. And Malika remembers Jakari from high school, but Jakari doesn't remember her. And pretty much like there's some ish that goes down while like they run into each other, and somebody dies. So then, well, Jakari kills somebody, for real. Jakari kills somebody, and then Jakari agrees, or Jakari's all like, "So nothing happens, or like there won't be no issues. We gotta get married." So the trope is fake marriage into love. And pretty much it turns into a series. Jakari and Malika, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that goes on, and they're navigating that, and they're falling in love in this fake marriage. So yeah, I read the first book, and then there's a second book in the series. I think there's 3 in total. There's 3 in total in the series. The series is Family Ties, and the books are really short. They're like 100, no, less than 200 pages. So the first one is Family Ties. I'm sorry. The first one is The Prodigy. The second one is The Prodigy 2, Rise of a Queen. There was really no queen rising for me in book 2. I'm probably not gonna read book 3. But it's a fun, quick read. Book 1 is definitely like you'll read it and be caught up. Yeah, but let me hold off because I do have my to be read. So yeah, that's my books for 2022. Very excited to share my to be reads, and like, subscribe, tell me what you really enjoyed this year, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.